Hey everybody, it's Genesis Krick here today. I'm here with Just Stevii. I'm so excited to have her on the show with us today. We've got a lot of really great things we're going to be talking about. This lady is doing it all, everybody. She has got a huge online platform. She's got a lot of followers. She's got people watching her from all over the place. And I have been following her for a long time, and I am just incredibly inspired by the content and information that she shares. And I just knew that I had to have her on my show. So here she is with us. Welcome, Stevie.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I absolutely love the name of the show. I love the platform you have, and I appreciate you just inviting me. Anytime I'm invited on anybody's platform, I just think it's a blessing because you don't have to invite people. You can run the show by yourself with your phenomenal self and keep it moving. But I always think it's a blessing to be invited.
Oh, absolutely. Well, me too. And it's always neat to see what other people are doing and just how their platforms are put together and other audiences that you can potentially be reaching. And that's my goal too for all of my guests, that they would have the opportunity to share their message with a whole new audience. Mm-hmm. And I think that you have so much valuable information and advice that you could be providing to them. So it's really great that you're here. Thank you.
Thank you.
So let's talk a little bit about some of the great endeavors that you're involved in right now. I don't even know really where to start. Is there a specific talking point that you would like to touch on? Potentially the upcoming telesummit that you're going to be having. This is your third year for that, correct?
This is our fourth year. This is our fourth year. We started in 2014. And first, let me tell you a little bit of background about who I am and how, and I always love telling my story. It kind of encourages people, I think. So I always say I was the girl who went from kindergarten to grad school. And the next logical thing was to get a job, or so I thought. And so I did get a job, and the first job I got out of grad school, I loved. It's very familiar to what I'm doing now, right? I was able to work from home. I was able to create my own schedule, and I was able to create the curriculum for the program. So nevertheless, I was kind of spoiled in that because that was the life. That's what everybody wants, right? And so I was there for 3 years. I was supposed to be there for 3 months, but through the grace of God, the grant kept getting extended. It was a nonprofit community that I was working for. And I just stayed there 3 years. And when the grant finally ran out, I was like, okay, I have this master's degree. Let's go get some money now. Let's go get some money. And so I did. And I ended up working for this company that, it's a very well-known company. And I thought this was the thing I tell people. I had the 3 B's: the big girl checks, the business card, and the benefits. And so with that, I thought I was going to be happy. I was like, I have arrived. When you get those kind of things, you feel like this is it. This is the American dream I'm about to tap into. But the crazy thing about it, Genesis, is that I hated it. I'm a very free-spirited person, and I felt like a caged bird inside of this environment. And so I wanted to tell you all that so you can have kind of some backstory. So that was in 2009, and fast forward to 2018, we are doing some amazing work that God's allowed us to do. The Say That Summit is one that the lovely Genesis will be our speaker. I'm so thankful for that. Yay. The Say That Summit will be January 13th, 2018, and it's exciting because I feel like this year, I've done one every year since 2014, and this year I feel like this is going to be monumental because we have amazing speakers, not like we didn't before. But something I always say, if you ever see me on Periscope or Facebook or something, somebody's comment section, I'm like, say that. That is what you need to hear. So that's where the Say That Summit came from. And I just feel like there's one word that people are going to want to hear, and it could come from any of the speakers. And we are it's a blessing to be able to cultivate that, just bring that to life. And I think that a lot of times, especially this year we've had it where you see on social media, like, what's the word for 2018? And that, I think, is very telling too. In fact, we're going to have that one word come from our speakers, whatever that word is, whatever that message, whatever that theme is. I feel like somebody's going to hear it on the summit, and their whole 2018 is going to be impacted by just hearing that.
For sure. You know, and that's such a great story, Stevie, because I think there's a lot of people that think that they are going to have it all when they're going into corporate America, or they're climbing the ladder. They're finally getting to the pinnacle of where they feel like they should have been, where their goals were, and just being at this point, like, I'm here, I've got the car, I've got the money coming in, I've got the consistent paycheck. I feel good about all of the work that I've put forward to be where I'm at today. And yet they're unfulfilled because it's not necessarily what their dream is. You know, they've worked hard to get to where they're at, but they're not entirely living their purpose. And day in and day out, they're going to work to build someone else's dream. You know, they're not building their own dream. So when we look at a person that's in that situation in comparison to an entrepreneur, we look and we say to them, you know, well, you know, you're not able to go from here to here. You're just kind of, you know, in the interim, whereas an entrepreneur, you're able to basically take your life to wherever you want it to be. Mm-hmm. You can touch an endless amount of people potentially. I mean, it's a worldwide impact that you can potentially make as you've, you know, shared on social media and what you've been personally doing. So it's really great to be able to share that story with lots of women, because I feel like there's a lot of women that can resonate with that. They can resonate to, you know, working hard for so long, but not quite feeling that fulfillment that they're so desiring. And, you know, and hearing also that you're able to walk away from that and be where you're at today is so encouraging to so many women, because when you think about leaving all of that luxury lifestyle, because it's consistent, it's something that you can count on, you know, the money's going to keep coming in. It's hard to walk away from something like that and in a way completely start over. So knowing that it's possible and seeing somebody that has already taken the steps and has shown successes in doing that is really very, very encouraging.
That is great. I just realized I didn't tell the other part of the story because I was so interested in getting to talking about you. But the thing about it, the other part of the story is that during this, you know, I said that I hated this job, right? I hated this job. I didn't know why I was feeling this. And I realized that one of the words in my life is freedom. I've got to feel free. I've got to, if I don't, then it's not going to be a pretty picture. And so one of the things that happened is that, thank God orders your steps. Because when I left that job, a couple months later, I just started feeling really, really sick. My body felt like it was shutting down. And I had to go through a process where I had 3 colonoscopies within 30 days, 2 within 24 hours. I got shingles, and I went from a size 14 to a size 0 simply because of stress. So this job I was almost not here, like probably about to die if I was going to still be on that job. So, you know, I say that to say that a lot of times we don't realize, like, it wasn't my dream to be an entrepreneur. I kind of fell into entrepreneur world, but I knew that I needed something different. I knew it was a calling that was calling me from this place. And it's funny because had I had another great experience that paid the bills as much as this job did, you know, I probably would still be in a working world, because it wasn't like, okay, let me become an entrepreneur. That wasn't it. I was craving freedom. I was craving flexibility. I was craving, and whatever vehicle that came in was going to be the vehicle that I needed to drive. This one just was not right for me. So I think that job, and I think my management team, because I did have a really great manager who I still stay in touch with, who was like, Stevie, you know, she said some encouraging words when I left that job. When I turned in my 2-week notice, she called me Butterfly. That was her name for me. And she was like, well, Butterfly, it's time for you to spread your wings and fly. And that's what happened. Like, and so just being in that environment taught me, like, if I didn't go there, I would never be here.
That's so great. And, you know, sometimes we need to go through something in order to know what we don't want, right? So, I mean, you may never have known what you know now had you not experienced what you did. So, and I can honestly say for myself, I experienced the same exact thing that you did. And I worked and I was climbing the ladder and I was enjoying the consistent paychecks that were coming in. But I'm like, you know what? At the end of the day, this isn't what I want to do for the rest of my life. I want to work closer and deeper with people in a way that I'm going to really be resonating with their hearts, in a way that I can use my own creativity in however I want in my own business to be able to take their life to a completely different level. So that's kind of where it was for me too. And you know, I think aside from the fulfillment aspect of it, you know, the idea that you can make an endless amount of potential money monetarily, you know, that's encouraging as well, because, you know, with entrepreneurship, the possibilities are endless. And for me as well, I also felt like God was talking to my heart and saying, you know, Genesis, this isn't where you're supposed to be the rest of your life. You need to make some changes in order to really be in the will that I have for you. And so in making those changes, it can be really incredibly difficult, but it can open up just a plethora of new opportunities if we just listen and we are willing to walk in those steps that we feel God is putting in front of us.
Exactly. Exactly.
So yeah, I love to hear that from you. And I think that you have so much great insight to be able to share with other women and giving them that encouragement that, you know, it might not happen overnight, but it's going to happen. You know, if that is their dream, if that's where they long to be, their heart has a longing to make these changes, then they just have to keep going and they can't give up on themselves, and that they have to know that it could be tomorrow, it could be next month, it might be a year from now. We don't necessarily know exactly what our next breakthrough is going to come, but we can know that we are consistently making progress when we take action on what we're most passionate about.
Exactly.
So what kind of clients are you looking to connect with, Stevie?
Wow. Really women, I think, I really am on this journey to transform women from being hidden figures to becoming household names. So I think I specifically look for people who have some amazing gifts, skills, talents, and abilities. Like they already know, you know, to a certain extent what they want to do. They just don't know how to get there. And they don't give themselves permission to be as bold as they need to be and to be as out there as they need to be, and to know that, okay, we might have all these different business rules, but at the end of the day, those who make the most impact and those who make the household names, when you think about Beyonce or Madonna or whoever you want to think about, they broke the rules. They didn't just do everything that everybody else did. And so those are kind of people I want to work with, because they are inspiring, for one, and I just really want to help them get their message out.
I love that. You know, and we all have our own individual gifts and things that we can share with the world. And sometimes it's just tapping into that and understanding a little bit deeper what those gifts are about and how we can make such a difference. And working with somebody like you, that could be incredibly beneficial, because they could tap into those gifts and really transform their life into blossoming, into becoming that butterfly and becoming that new person. So that's really, really exciting. So what do you specifically offer any programs then at this point?
I do. I am building a community called the PR Powerhouses. And so the PR Powerhouses is, I love fun and I love play. So it's a playground. It's a learning laboratory that women can come in. It's only $47 a month, which I think is super, affordable. But it's $47 a month, and they can come in and just learn some different techniques, see some different examples, get in front of some different experts who are teaching on whatever they need to be taught on. Because I believe that I'm not the sharpest pencil in the box, nor do I ever want to be. And I know what I know in my it factor, and everybody else knows what they know in there. So it's a community where it's just support. We do what I call pink seats. My favorite color is pink. So we do pink seats instead of hot seats, and they get their questions answered that they have. And I think a lot of times the difference that between my community and a lot of others is that it's not a safe place out here in this entrepreneurial world, right? So my community provides a safe place where you could be as crazy, as wild. We're not going to judge you. Whatever you want to say, however you want to show up, whatever needs to happen, you come and I'm going to cheer you on. I'll say, yes, girl, you wear that green and pink and yellow hair, but just rock it. Know that, be confident about it. Be confident about it.
I love that. So how would somebody get plugged into something like that then? What would they need to do to reach out to you?
They can go to stevii.com, and my name is SteviI, stevii.com, and I have a work with me tab, and you can find out, like, I have, different sessions, coaching sessions, because I do PR coaching, but the PR Powerhouses is on there, and also if you ever want to appear on iHeartRadio, my podcast, or on the TV show that I have, then you can, there's different ways to connect with that, so, but that definitely is on there.
How exciting. Well, more and more opportunities for you all of the time, Stevie. That is just really great. I'd love to be able to do something further with you also at some point, and for sure have you back on the podcast to be able to share more in the future.
I appreciate you.
Well, wonderful. Well, folks, you've heard a lot of ways that you can connect with Stevie, get plugged into her community. It's fun, it's engaging, it's inspiring, and she offers just so much great content and information and help. And, she's one in a million, that's for sure. So you got to reach out to her to join in with her movement. So thank you so much for listening today. And Stevie, thank you for being a guest on the show.
Yes. Shine, honey. Shine. It's funny because one of my community organizations, we all had nicknames, and mine was Shine. So I love that.
Oh,
I think so thank you, Genesis, for allowing me into your world. You are amazing, and I look forward to connecting, collaborating, and changing with you more.
Yes, absolutely. It will definitely happen. In 2018, new year, here we go. Lots of new goals that we're setting together, and movements and platforms and ways that we connect with other people. And, we're always looking for new guests on our show and new individuals that are looking to connect with us. So please don't be shy. If you're interested in being on Shine on Women, please reach out to us, and we'd be happy to chat with you about getting involved. Thank you again, listeners. You have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.